This is the Toby LaGrange Show. With who else? Toby LaGrange. And it starts right now.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 75 of the Toby LaGrange Show. In this episode, we're going to talk about the recently released World of Outlaw Real American Beer Late Model Series schedule for the 2026 season. So hold on tight, we're going to talk about the most powerful late models on the planet next. Hey race fans. So originally, when I decided I was going to do an episode of the Toby LaGrange Show on the 2026 World of Outlaw Late Model Series schedule, I had thought about just going over the schedule, naming off each race, and talking a little bit about it. Instead, I read the World of Outlaw Late Model Series press release and decided I'm just going to read bits and pieces of that for you. That'll say everything that we need to know, as they've done a great job once again with releasing the schedule in their press release. A new season for the World of Outlaws Real American Beer Late Model Series presented by Dervision is less than 3 months away, and the roadmap for 2026 has arrived. The 25th season of competition for the most powerful late models on the planet will take the series on a 10-month journey that once again starts at Volusia Speedway Park in Florida in January and concludes at the dirt track at Charlotte in November down in North Carolina. Along the way, the series will travel to 19 different states and visit 37 different tracks, 8 of which will be hosting their first World of Outlaws event, while 8 more are back on the schedule in 2026 after an extended hiatus. Competitors will be vying for industry-leading payouts all season long, with every full field feature paying a minimum of $10,000 to the winner. New in 2026 is every event will pay a minimum of $2,000 for a top 10, expanding on the series' commitment to offering the highest payouts throughout the field in late model racing. In total, approximately $4.9 million in featured purses will be up for grabs over the course of the season, an 18% increase over 2025. That's in addition to the $1.1 million points fund highlighted by a $225,000 prize for the champion, as well as the Winner's Circle Fund, which pays teams every time the hauler moves. Let's kick things off with some new additions to the World of Outlaw Late Models Series schedule. First up, the Hendry County Motorsports Park down in Florida will see the action take to their track on February 20th, 21st. The fun in the Florida sun won't be limited to the Volusia Speedway Park in 2026. Known as the southernmost dirt track in the United States, the Hendry County Motorsports Park will host a national late model event for the first time with a Swamp Cabbage 100. That's a great name, Swamp Cabbage 100. 1 week after the conclusion of the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals, the tour will make the 200-mile tow south to Clewiston, Florida, for 2 nights of racing on the quarter-mile bull ring. The Magnolia Motor Speedway on March 20th through 21st. The first World of Outlaws race in Mississippi since 2018 will go down at the Magnolia Motor Speedway, which will welcome the series for the first time in March. The track has hosted plenty of super late model racing since it opened in 2004, with names like Billy Moyer, the late Scott Bloomquist, Jonathan Davenport, Jimmy Owens, Dale McDowell, and Bobby Pierce, as well as many more, on the list of winners. The Mansfield Speedway on May 29th and 30th. As part of its revival season in 2026, under the ownership of Matt Tifft, Mansfield Speedway is set to host one of the highest paying shows in all of late model racing, with a 57 special. The $57,000 to win, $5,700 to start main event will be the start of the back-to-back weeks of racing, big money races, in Ohio, I should say, with a dirt late model dream in Eldora following it up days later. The 141 Speedway on June 19th and June 20th. The 2026 edition of the Northern Swing features 10 races in 16 days across Wisconsin, Minnesota, and North Dakota. And it all starts on the shores of Lake Michigan in Maribel, Wisconsin. The 141 Speedway is home to multiple major IMCA events every year and will join the World of Outlaws schedule for the first time with a 2-night event on Father's Day weekend. The Southern Iowa Speedway will host a series on August the 26th. Iowa will be the place to be for late model fans in late August, with the World of Outlaws running 5 races at 4 different tracks across the state in 9 days. The stretch starts with the annual Hawkeye 100 at Maqueda Speedway on Friday and Saturday, August 21st and 22nd, before shifting to Southern Iowa Speedway on Wednesday, August the 26th, for the biggest late model race in the track's 95-year history. Sorry about the punctuation on Maqueda Speedway. Still not sure how to say it, but I'm sure it'll be great racing. The Adams County Speedway on August the 28th, the second of 3 new additions in 1 week. The Adams County Speedway serves as the first half of a 2-night stay in western Iowa. The track's late model history includes 2 visits by the Dirt Car Summer Nationals in 1992 and then in 2001, as well as a plethora of races for the Malvern Bank Super Late Model Series. The Shelby County Speedway on August the 29th. The Shelby County Speedway has quickly become a favorite among late model drivers and fans alike, and it makes its debut on the World of Outlaws schedule in 2026. The track has hosted the Kosiski Family 53 each of the past 2 seasons, with Hudson O'Neill and Bobby Pierce each scoring wins. And the final new addition is the Little River Speedway on October 23rd and 24th. The World of Outlaws will make their first trip to South Carolina since 2022, with a 2-night showdown at the newly renovated Little River Speedway. Serving as the lead-in to the dirt track at Charlotte's World Short Track Championship and World of Outlaws World Finals, the event will kick off a massive 3-week stretch of racing in the Carolinas to wrap up 2026. Now let's take a look at some of the tracks that are back on the World of Outlaw Late Model Series schedule after some time away. The Volunteer Speedway returns to the schedule on March the 13th. Next season's Tennessee Tip-Off Weekend will take on a new look at 2 historic venues in the greater Knoxville area. The weekend begins at the Volunteer Speedway as the Outlaws take on the high banks of the Gap on Friday before the tour heads south to the Smoky Mountain Speedway on Saturday, March the 14th. The East Alabama Motor Speedway on March the 27th. For the first time since 2006, one of the tracks that's most synonymous with super late model racing in the South is back on the World of Outlaws schedule. The home of the National 100 will host the series for a 1 night only in a $12,000 to win Friday night spectacular before the Sonoya Raceway caps off the weekend on its new spring date of Saturday, March the 28th. The Georgetown Speedway in Delaware on May the 13th. The Northeast Swing has expanded to 5 nights in 2026, and it all starts with a Wednesday night program at the Georgetown Speedway. The facility's 3rd World of Outlaw Late Model Series event comes during the lead-up to the NASCAR All-Star Race weekend at the Dover Motor Speedway, serving as the kickoff to a packed week of racing in Delaware. The Selinsgrove Speedway on May the 14th. 1 night later, the most powerful late models on the planet head deep into the heart of sprint car country for a stop at the Selinsgrove Speedway. The Central Pennsylvania track hosted the series 9 times between 2013 and 2019, in addition to several regional late model races each year. Following the pair of $20,000 to win midweek races at Georgetown and Selinsgrove, the tour will travel to the Marion Center Raceway, for 2 nights on Friday and Saturday, May 15th and 16th, before wrapping up the week at the Bedford Speedway on Sunday, May the 17th. The Wayne County Speedway on May 28th. A 3-night weekend in Ohio kicks off with a Thursday night showdown at the Wayne County Speedway, the tour's first visit to the Orville Speedway in 7 years. 6 World of Outlaw races have been held at the Wayne County Speedway since 2006, with Brandon Shepard winning the last 3 in 2017, 18, and 19. The West Virginia Motor Speedway on June 12th and the 13th. The legendary West Virginia Motor Speedway hillside will be packed once again next summer, although the racing action will look a little different than it has over the past 4 decades. The track has been reconfigured into a 3/8 mile oval, designed to produce plenty of elbows-up excitement with a $30,000 top prize on the line. The Ogilvy Raceway on June the 22nd. The newest addition to the Northern Swing comes an hour north of Minneapolis with a Monday night visit to the Ogilvy Raceway. The 4 previous World of Outlaws races at the track were split by Josh Richards, Chris Madden, and Shane Clanton, while Ryan Gustin, Dustin Sorensen, and Jake Tim are all former winners with the United States Modified Touring Series at the 3/8 mile. And the State Line Speedway in New York on July the 8th. A Wednesday night stop in the Empire State for the Rick Briggs Memorial, powered by Dave Warren Power Sports, is the first of a trio of race nights on the shores of Lake Erie. The Battle at the Border at Sharon Speedway will follow on Friday and Saturday, July 10th and the 11th. The World of Outlaws have visited the Busty, New York State Line Speedway 7 times since 2005, including in 2023, when Nick Hoffman scored his first World of Outlaws Late Model Series victory. Alright, so we've taken a look at some tracks that are new to the schedule, and some tracks that have been away for a while. Now let's take a look at some returning staples to the World of Outlaw Late Model Series schedule. Of course, everything kicks off down in Florida at the Volusia Speedway Park on January 22nd through 24th, and then on February 12th through the 14th. The Farmer City Raceway also once again returns to the schedule with the Illini 100 on April 10th and the 11th. The Talladega Short Track is back on the schedule on April 24th and 25th with the Alabama Gang 100. The Mississippi Thunder Speedway is back on the schedule April 30th through May 2nd. The Mississippi Thunder Speedway is back on the schedule on April 30th through May 2nd. The Deer Creek Speedway will be back on the schedule from July 2nd through July the 4th. Who doesn't want to go to the Fairbury Speedway? The Fairbury Speedway is back on the schedule July 24th and 25th. The Cedar Lake Speedway will be on the schedule from July 30th to August the 1st. The Boot Hill Speedway on October the 2nd through the 3rd for the Bayou Classic. And then, of course, the dirt track at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the World of Outlaws World Finals on November the 4th through the 7th. I can't wait to watch, and I know you're excited too. It's going to be a great season for the most powerful late models on the planet, courtesy of the World of Outlaw Late Model Series.